Is Hillary Clinton the most corrupt candidate in history?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. And we've said this before, the skeletons keep falling out. They never stop. I don't.
What do you think of this whole Seth Rich thing? The guy that worked for the DNC that got murdered, who was probably the source of the leak.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that hard to put two and two together, but yet Vanderbilt kid will never talk about anything like that.
No, he will not. And yeah, anybody with half a brain can like add all these coincidences together and go, wait a second.
I mean, some say the Clinton Foundation is the biggest extortion ring in the history of the world.
It probably is. And I think it's only going to continue. Remember, one of the guys from Nigeria pledged $1 billion to them.
That you can't play ball in this new world order without being involved in, and it's the biggest money laundering apparatus in history.
It's insane. Okay, the fact that mainstream media continues to turn a blind ear to all this information and say, "Oh, we don't hear anything."
Well, all they do is point at Trump and talk about how horrible he is and what a danger he is, and even Rumsfeld is supporting Hillary. Dick Cheney wrote an open letter that basically supports Hillary.
So that's you can't get a better endorsement for Trump.
But yet, will Mrs. Alan Greenspan ever bring this up?
No, never. Andrea Mitchell, she's totally bought and owned by the Clintons. So,
I mean, most corrupt candidate in history, and yet that quirky, intelligent Rachel Maddow will just make snarky comments about Trump and never hold Clinton's feet to the fire over anything. So, even though she is the most corrupt candidate in history, nobody seems to care. And if you're a liberal, if you're a progressive, F you, because now she's pivoting right, and just like forget it, you have to vote for me. You can't vote for Trump because all the noise is how bad he is, what a buffoon, and he is a buffoon. But it's just anything he says, Mrs. Alan Greenspan will jump all over it, point at it.
If you take every gaffe that Trump has made and put them together, it's not as bad as any one of the scandals that Hillary Clinton was involved in that they never report on.
No, and Trump may be a gangster, but he's like a Jersey City, like boardwalk gangster. He's not a gangster destroying whole countries and ruining the lives of millions of people and dealing with foreign governments and making deals and laundering money on a global scale. I mean, he's like the little petty crook around the corner compared to Clinton, who's the freaking Don of...
Well, the real thing we have to recognize, and the reason that he gets so much pushback, is not because of the stuff he says. It's because he wants to change things. That's the whole idea. They don't want to change. You know, you think Rumsfeld wants something changed? Dick Cheney wants anything to change?
Well, the thing is, the bomb makers can't make any bombs unless you use the bombs.
Yeah. I mean, if
you got to
the
use the bombs.
Make more, so we got to use them, and they know that Trump is not a warmonger, so yeah, it's so obvious what's happening, and I well, the Wall Street Journal kind of went off the reservation by publishing those emails, and it was really that group, I forget the group, that sued to get the State Department emails released. Now, if those are the ones that were released, what do you think were in the 30,000 that she trashed?
Well, the State Department has those, but once again, the State
Department doesn't, because what happened is they lost. She deleted, and the attorneys went over them and deleted them. And you remember what Comey said? They did a type of forensic analysis on the way the data was destroyed, and it is not recoverable. So this wasn't an accidental thing, or just let's just delete it from our thing. This was we're going to delete it so even forensics can never retrieve this from the drive.
Yeah, yoga emails. Yoga emails. And the thing is, the State Department is tied into the Clinton Foundation. The Clinton Foundation's spider web is so deep, it brings everybody down. Everybody is involved in the extortion and the money laundering. Everywhere. Yep. And so it brings everything down, including Obama. Obama is impeachable. You could impeach him with what he's involved in. It's all so bad. So they all cover each other. You know, the Honorable James Comey is tied in that spider web. Loretta Lynch is in that spider web. Everyone is in that spider web. So they can't bring down the most corrupt person in history.
Because she'll just say, "Let me tell you, I'll do a plea deal. Let me tell you who's involved here."
Right. She'll bring everyone else down, and then don't think all these foreign governments don't have crap on her that they can use, that they can blackmail her with, because other countries have those emails.
Yeah.
So it's this big mess, and yet everyone is complacent with it. And the people that get effed are regular people, and especially progressives, and especially the dumbass progressives that think voting for Hillary to prevent Trump is smart. Really stupid. And because she's definitely by far the worst of two evils. She's pure evil. She's the most corrupt candidate in history. Right? Easily. And yet is immune to the law, is all-powerful, and would bring everything down because of the size of the money laundering and extortion ring that they've created. That all she did was use the Secretary of State position to extort money and create this big money laundering thing with the Clinton Foundation that has everybody involved.
Yeah.
So I guess the answer to that question is yes.
An absolute, no question, yes.
And there ain't nothing we can do about it.
Well, we'll see. We still have 90 days. I think the polls will look very different in November than they do today.
Well, if Trump even wants to win. I'm not sure Trump even wants to win. And who knows? He could go, it's really too bad what happened to that Seth Rich, isn't it? He was just out going for a walk, and he was robbed, although the robbers didn't take anything from him. They didn't take any ID or any money.
Yeah, he was robbed, but they didn't take his watch, his cell phone.
I mean, it's so bad. Even people who report on it talk about, I better watch what I'm saying. Anybody knows they could die.
It can happen. It has happened before, and it will happen again.
Right. That was like, you better watch. And the funny thing is then Clinton goes on and uses that for her agenda against owning guns, talking about when she's the one that put the hit on the guy. Allegedly.
Yeah.
So it's like, Clinton, they might have had a little talk with Clinton, like when Bernie went into the White House to meet with fellow criminal Obama, because let's face it, he is a criminal as well. And they just said, look, dude, which is what happened to Obama when he won. They pulled him in the room and said, all this transparent. He has the least transparent presidency in history.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like the worst on so many levels. It never gets reported by Mrs. Alan Greenspan or Rachel Maddow. I mean, he's like deported more people. He's thrown more whistleblowers in jail. He's had continual war. I mean, it goes on and on and on with that guy. But he was pulled in the room and said, "Look, motherfucker, play ball." Same thing, I'm sure, with Sanders. Like, look, dude, you're gonna bend your knee. You're gonna put all your people over to.
It's either that or push up daisies.
Right, and I mean, Clinton has been so deep in that she's one of the kingpins of the international money laundering and extortion rings and hooking up donors. I mean, that's what they do. They hook up donors. All for what? To have a big house and extra cars and. But anyway, so maybe they got to Trump and say, look, you say something stupid, because you notice now, anytime there's another skeleton falls out, Trump tweets something really stupid that gets everybody pointing fingers at him. It's getting too consistent now to not seem like, wait a minute. You know what I mean? That little Baron Trump, He's pretty cute. That little Barron Trump is cute. I would love to see that little Barron Trump get a good college education. Because let's face it, Trump is not even the same league of gangsta as Clinton. He's not even in the same.
He's not even junior varsity.
No.
He didn't even make the freshman team.
He has yet to destroy a country. He hasn't. I mean, the Clintons have destroyed whole countries. Maybe Trump bankrupted a couple casinos, but he hasn't bankrupted countries. He hasn't ruined countries. And it's multiple countries. I mean, it's like, he's maybe ruined a few people's lives, but not millions of people's lives. It's not even in the same. The things that people are afraid Trump might do, Clinton has already done.
On steroids.
So, anyway, get ready. Rumsfeld, Cheney, Kissinger, they're all coming back in the White House with a private server. And Putin, you're on freaking warning, dude, because Clinton's already said she'll use nukes. So, anyway, there you go, America. Get ready for the most corrupt president. And you have to say that because they're going to steal it. And Trump clearly doesn't want it. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want to win.
He wants to see little Barron go to high school and college.
Right. He wants to see little Barron not go out one day and get robbed with nothing robbed from him.
Yeah.
So, anyway, sorry, Donald. Just bend over and take it, because like the rest of the world.
Yeah.
So, we just got to get ourselves in that 0.00001% and donate $1 billion to the Clinton Foundation. And then everything will be fine.